All right, everybody, welcome back to the Move Podcast, brought to you each and every time by Aura. The Aura Ring, a non-invasive, smart tracking device. This thing tells me everything. I mean, obviously, it breaks down my sleep, all my sleep cycles. Latency is a big one for me. Latency is, and I'm so proud of latency, is how quickly you go to bed. I average right around 3 minutes. Anna simply hates me for that. Her latency is like 3 hours. But all my sleep cycles, heart rate variability, core temp, and then activity, recovery, readiness, all packed into this little piece of technology. Partnerships with all the big leagues, NBA, WNBA, USA Surfing, UFC, a bunch of the big tech leaders. It's out there, just crushing. Head on over to Aura Ring, O-U-R-A Ring, get a sizing kit, make sure you get the right size, and get on with it. Start comparing your stuff, like the whole Move team.
I love me some Aura Ring, but it's really messing with my 4th of July plans. You want to know why?
Why?
I asked the man to get me some Kygo tickets, take me to the Kygo concert tonight. He said he doesn't go on until 10 o'clock. He needs to get his sleep. Messing with my plans.
All right, we're talking about stage 9. Let's cue our old friend Alain and him and his birds over there in Corsica.
Stage 9, cruise to
Why did it stop?
Tignes.
That was weird. Just
Wait, I was going to say,
Stage 9, cruise to Tignes.
I can even do that one. Clues to Tignes.
You were in the race car the last time I was in Tignes. You remember that?
No, I don't.
2006.
I don't-
You were in the car with Johan.
I don't remember any of it.
Gave me a dirty look as I was getting popped at the start of the teens climb.
Did I?
Yep, you did. Didn't like it. I just
Why would
remember
I-
it
now,
very
why-
vividly. You
Why
came by
would
me
I
like,
give you a dirty look?
what's the matter with you, bro? Why you can't pop while you're sitting in the car?
Oh, I think you were projecting. I didn't. That certainly didn't happen. Huge day for Ben O'Connor. We're sitting around here trying to figure out who had the ride of the day. I mean, Ben O'Connor, exceptional. Colbrelli, exceptional.
place
And
on
I'm
the
still
stage.
trying. I want this scoop on Cavendish because he just made it inside the time cut. And if he, in fact, was with those other guys and had to ride that final climb as hard as he could to make the time cut, then that becomes the ride of the day.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly did. From what I heard, he was 25 or some odd minutes behind at the bottom of the climb, and with a group of 12, rode away from them with his teammates Markov and the other, de Klerk, I believe, and finished a minute and a half under the time cut. And a lot of guys went home today.
So emotional. You saw him at the finish. He was even not just when he crossed the finish line, but then on the podium, super emotional.
And of course, the relevance of that is that, if he makes the time cut, he's closer to getting another chance at a sprint with fewer sprinters in the field.
Losing 2 rivals. We'll get into all that. Did you have another audio clip?
I do. I have another little treat for you.
You won't play it for me, but you said there was something sneaky.
Well, we struggle with our Slovenian pronunciations.
We struggle. We struggle with a lot of pronunciation.
I know. And in the past, Nusa, a Slovenian, has helped us out. We haven't heard from her this year.
She's MIA.
But Heidi steps up. You ready?
I'm ready.
Hello, boys from the Move team. This is Heidi speaking from Slovenia. I have to tell you that I've been listening to your show for some years, and I enjoy it very much. So keep it delivering and don't ever lose the jokes. Why I'm recording you this message is because I would like to help you with pronunciation of Slovenian names. So how to spell Matej's name correctly. So first name and the last name, it's Matej Mohoric. Then we also have Tadej Pogacar, Primož Roglic, and Luka Mezgec on Tour de France this year. So if you ever need any further help in future, I'll be very happy to help you out. So I'm looking forward for the next show. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Heidi.
Luka Mezgec.
That one hasn't even come up on the show yet
Golly.
for us to butcher.
So there's, okay, wow. Hey, today's show also brought to you by, and I will represent my new Stars and Stripes Matadors for this. Look at, I couldn't even look over there at myself. Sometimes I say to myself, fuck, it happened again. Yeah, better looking. Look at the hat. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Roca, founded by badass athletes, especially for badass athletes. Obviously, all the performance shades. I'm rocking the Stars and Bars Matador today. Prescription glasses, which we're all big fans of on all levels, whether it's just all day or just for reading. You know what I love the most about them is they're outside of the lens is how light they are, how light they are, and how they fit. Best in class. And I've worn a lot of shades in my day. This is my go-to. Head on over to. Wait, I'm sorry. Somebody hinted to me that there's a slide.
Oh, that is too good.
I mean, Macho Man Savage has come back. I think didn't the Macho Man die a couple years ago? This is Joe Natale. This guy, what a guy. They got it, and he gets it, and he's on brand on everything. And the shorts. And I swear to God, I would wear those shorts today if I had those, Joe. That is something. Oh boy.
That could be a new design for one of your rings. The belt.
Yeah. Head on over to Roca. That's ROKA.com. Flow code went away, but that's all right. You'll find it. And she's back. There's our Roca flow code. Roca.com. 20% off for our listeners. Head on over. Happy 4th. George, you mentioned yesterday that I was looking a little soft.
You are looking much better than this morning. I
feel better.
I was kind of shocked because I texted you around 6:30. I'm like, "You up, bro?" And he's like, "You waiting on me? You backing up?"
I've been up.
We started the day early.
You know why? Because I started yesterday after you. I didn't even know you were going to bring this new feed formula. My vitamin packs, which for me, like for a guy like me, like I just can't, dude. Having all these jars around and going, all right, 2 this morning, 2 this afternoon. Fuck that. Like, let's just give me the pack. I'm not very bright. So, hey, Lance, this is what you do in the morning or before your workout. This is what you do in the evening. Even I can figure that out.
Yeah, not only that, but it's just a nice, clean box that comes in. We won't get yelled at by our significant others for having a bunch of messy bottles on the countertops. And it's like you said, super simple. Take with breakfast, take pre-workout. I'm loving the feed stuff.
And the feed, if you probably caught some of their ads on the telly as well, but it's a great idea. You just curate your feedback. You know, everybody, you don't have to buy, excuse me, you don't have to buy one brand. You can just curate it, make it whatever you want. They got great brands like Amp Human, Momentous, Hyper Ice, Element T, Swiss RX, Stinger, it's all in there. Martin, another brand that we really like. Just go do it yourself.
And celebrating 4th of July, they're giving our listeners 50% off on the first feed formula this weekend. Just head over to thefeed.com/themove.
That's right. There's our flow code. 4th of July. You're gonna. I wonder if they have like a hangover thing they can put in your feedback because
I've been behaving well the last couple of days.
Me too. I went to bed early. I still don't know that I can make it for that Kygo show.
Oh, we got to try.
People have no idea how fortunate we are that the 4th falls before rest day.
Oh, I mean, that never happens.
Like the game in Aspen for 4th of July is big.
Yeah, with this little mountain town brings it on the 4th of July.
Are you wearing that get up, the hat and the glasses to the parade today, or?
I'm not gonna. I wore the hat on the show because this is normally the hat I wear every year for our parade, but I got a new hat. I've got a whole outfit for the parade. And so I can't wear this hat, so I thought I'd wear it on the show. All right. Yeah, but what a day. Well, it's just terrible. We knew the weather was going to be bad. You know, when I got up and finally flicked on the television, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to see this for these guys. It was just pouring rain and cold. You saw how cold these guys were? I mean, every rider shaking their hands, guys pulling over, doing full wardrobe changes, getting different gloves. Like they just couldn't. And, you know, keep in mind, you know, most of these riders are 3, 4, 5% body fat. Like JB and I could be out there and be like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, today.
But these guys, when you're that lean and it's in the low 40s and wet and you're going downhill.
And I'm guessing on the climb, you start cooking in that jacket. And then on the descent, you're freezing.
Today was all about, I mean, we're seeing all kinds of different things going on within the stage. There's a massive race going on for the green jersey. Massive race going on for the mountain jersey, and it's making the starts of these stages incredibly difficult. Today was all about fueling yourself properly, keeping the right layers on or off, depending what you had on the climb. So you saw all kinds of different stuff happening in the stage today.
Yeah, it's and on the nutritional side, it's just, you think, people think they have to fuel more when it's hot. When you're that cold and your body is trying that hard to stay warm, you're just burning fuel. Like you saw Quintana had a little crisis there. That's surely from the cold.
From the cold, absolutely. But also you saw how hard he was going for those mountain sprint points in the beginning of the stage. He did a couple full gas sprints for 2 or 3 points against Wout Poels. And you just, something like that, those types of efforts so early on the stage just really, really take it out of you, especially after such a cold day today. We're talking about, we're in the middle of July right now. It's not like they've kind of hit some stages like this or a couple of rides like this in the last few weeks. They haven't. It's been warm. It's been a hot summer so far, and all of a sudden it's 45 some odd degrees and these guys are freezing cold.
Yeah, it's actually early July, but that's okay. Nonetheless, and no mudslides. This was the town we were supposed to go to 2 years ago, and they had this, all of a sudden had a mudslide, which we're having here in this area, but
which ended the tour
into the race, and Bernal, just rode right into it without. So they doubled back and came back to Tignes.
Yeah, what a different scenario we're in now with Alaphilippe was in the yellow at that point, going for the win of the Tour de France, and you saw where he finished today. It's a completely different situation for him.
Yeah.
Well, in all of our tour prep for this year, we did not ever discuss Ben O'Connor.
No.
It's a new name we might see more of.
No, and now he's sitting in second on the GC, and as I just kind of looked through his palmarès, he's got. I think he was 6th in Romandy, 8th at the Dauphiné.
Won a stage of the Giro.
Yeah, this is
26 years old, from our old stomping grounds in Girona, so we know exactly where he's been training. And I would have loved. Okay, amazing day for the team AG2R Citroën, winning the stage, first stage for them for the Tour de France. Like you said yesterday, there's only been 4 teams winning stages. Now it's 5. But I would have personally loved to see him take yellow, and I think it'd be interesting to see what Johan thinks. Of course, UAE is on a tear right now. Their guys are all up there. They're riding super strong. They're riding really well together. But I would have loved to see him get the yellow jersey today.
I wonder what you thrust a young kid like that into a position on the general classification. Like all of a sudden he's going to go. He's got a rest day. He's got then sort of a rolling day. He's got to be thinking, damn. Maybe why not? Let me just keep. You don't count a guy like that. He's had these top 10s in hard races.
Not only that, but he crashed really hard in the first couple of stages. He's got like 8 stitches in his elbow. So for him to bounce back, win the stage by 5 minutes over second place, incredibly impressive.
And there for a hot minute, I thought my pick yesterday, Michael Woods. When I did turn on the television, I saw that he was in the front group, and I said, "Damn it, I might be right for once." And it just, after yesterday's effort and probably a combination of yesterday's effort and today's conditions, just, put it in park. My pick went right out the back. But
I think one of the big questions that you guys were discussing while watching, Johan has brought this up. I think we all thought UAE was going to let yellow go and give up some work for week 2. They could have done that easily.
Yeah.
But they chose not to.
Well, that's a great point. And like I mentioned a couple of days ago, that would have been a perfect strategy. And today couldn't have gotten any better. A guy like Ben O'Connor with a French team behind him, they would have fought like crazy for the next week to 10 days to hold that jersey, and essentially given the UAE some off time, being able to sit behind. But I think not by the fact that they did not let him get the jersey means that they are just crazy confident in their team, in Pogacar's power and his recovery skills, and they're like, even Pogacar said it on TV. He's like, I did not want to lose the yellow. So
Pogacar seems to get heavily motivated when Carapaz gets in front of him.
Yeah,
Did you notice that?
Yeah, this guy's so good and so confident. I don't know. You saw they poked the bear there at the end, and that's what dropped all of his teammates when Ineos went to the front, and he just said, "All right, watch this."
Right.
I respect the hell out of that. Yeah, 2 different bike races right now.
Yeah, the bike races right now are for the podium, which I love seeing Uran sneak into 3rd place now. Carapaz, it's going to be a huge battle for. Of course, the tour is not over; anything can happen. But clearly, Pogacar is dominating this first week of the tour.
He's look at his face. it doesn't even look like he's trying.
Yeah, just riding away from it. It looks effortless.
Yeah.
And everybody else is all over their bike.
Yeah. The guy's he's the boss. He is the boss. The other big news is this: it seems they have actually enforced the time limit. We talked a lot about this yesterday. We're still not sure how many riders missed the time cut. One of George's idols, which would have been totally ironic because it would have been his teammate that put him out of the race, Greg Van Avermaet, made it by 5 seconds, right? Because it's all based on the winner's time, and you have the Olympic champion that might have been going home. But, yes, I mean, they're going to send home a bunch of these top sprinters, which Mark Cavendish has got to be sitting there. This will be, I don't care who wins. If he breaks the record, this will be the biggest story of the Tour.
Of course, the record being Eddie Merckx's most Tour stage wins record of 34, Cav sitting at 32.
So the Tour app, which is usually quite accurate and quite fast, has only got 165 guys classified right now on the stage, which I hope is not correct, because that would mean a lot more guys than we thought actually went home today.
Well, you had, they show you, if you click over to the right,
Yep.
so you got general stage and then withdrawals. Yeah. So that list is getting a little bigger than when we started, but
And, of course, as expected, Van der Poel went home this morning. We found that out first thing. And
Primoz Roglic.
Roglic went home, which we all thought would happen too. And Johan said this guy needs to get away from this bad energy and focus on the Vuelta, or, just end it.
When I saw that he went home this morning, I thought right away, if he's going to the Olympics, he's got to be one of the odds-on favorites. He can clearly win the one-day hard races, and the Olympics is a super hard course. So I think it'd be pretty awesome to see him win the Olympic road race, and then hopefully come back to the Tour de France next year at 100%.
Well, and the even bigger story is that Mathieu van der Poel is now separated from Wout van Aert.
like physically in different places.
Actually, like they are not side by side.
Now, have you seen this little meme going around?
No, look at this. This is so much easier than cyclocross. Look, they're just giggling. Hey, these fucking wimps riding around France. I mean,
Yeah,
we thought, who said this was hard?
it's actually good to see that these guys are human. You saw Wout van Aert do the I'm done sort of signal to the camera. He's been right there in second place fighting for the yellow jersey, and I mean, what a hard week he's had. And so I'm actually glad that he's normal and he was able to just sit back. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him win a stage now, especially since they don't have the clear, GC ambitions for the podium. Well, perhaps they do with the Danish kid, but he's going to have some leeway. We saw the interview this morning from the Danish kid where they asked him, what do you think Wout's going to do here? You got to ask him. I don't really know what he's doing.
Yeah, I was like, wait, how did that team meeting go? He's like, I don't know. Maybe ask him. That was the Danes are always like that, though. They're always like it's always kind of dry and funny. They always like, I don't know.
We can get the scoop on him from our buddy Brian Holm. Might have to do that.
Your scoops are falling behind. It's been a
Settle
rough.
down. We're in the first week right now.
I'm waiting for our listeners. I'm waiting on a big scoop. I asked Big Time over here to actually call Mark Cavendish on the show and just find out how he made the time cut. I'm super curious.
And I asked Big Time over here if he would answer my phone if he was on the podium of the Tour de France or just finishing a day like that. And he claims he said yes, but there's no chance in hell that you would pick up my phone call.
I don't think that's right.
While we're still talking about Van Aert and Van der Poel, something that Johan said yesterday on JB Squared, which is only in the audio podcast feed. By the way, search The Move. They all go there. And search one word. I know on Spotify you got to put it as one word. But he said about both of them, Van der Poel and Van Aert, if you could convince them, which would be hard, to focus solely on the Tour, within 3 years they could both be Grand Tour winners. I mean, the Tour de France winners. But you would have to convince them to...
Johan said that?
Yeah.
What
are your thoughts on that?
Pogacar is what, 22, 23 years old?
Right.
So believe me, Pogacar is going to be here in 3 years. So you could do all the convincing you want to do. I don't know. It's fun to think about. I don't think that's...
Well, he doesn't think you could convince him to give up
I think
the classics
I think
and
they have
cyclocross.
They have so much going on. I mean, they're, winning Tour of Flanders. They're winning cyclocross races. They're winning time trials. Let's give these guys a break. It's not like they're having a hard time right now. They're incredibly successful, and I think they should just keep focusing on what they like to do.
Hey, today's show also brought to you by Amp Human, makers of our very favorite, our very own and our much loved favorite PR lotion. George has been using it extensively, especially in the pull-up contest. It's the only way he got to 7 pull-ups, even if they were Snoopy pull-ups. Breaking news, as of a couple of days ago, Amp Human and Momentous, our favorite protein powder, have merged. So 1 and 1 equals more than 2. And the other great products that Momentous makes, which is, I didn't know this until somebody told me their top selling product are these collagen peptides. And I'm like, what is that? And then as I start researching it, it's for anybody that puts stress on their joints and this stuff starts to break down in your early 20s. Like I wake up like, I'm 50 now. I wake up like, I feel like I'm 70. I have found the fountain of youth. I am going to start hammering this shit. Seriously, my joints and my lobe, everything, it's going to totally turn around.
You're not the 5-0 yet. September.
I'm not. I've got a couple of months, but
then it really starts to slip.
And then for our members only happy hour on Thursday, which of course will be preceded by a pull-up contest, I am going to
Another one? We just did that.
Do you think, honest? You think I'm going to let this shit in a tie? For real?
Oh man,
for real? Oh, this is the difference between you and me. You're like, this is cute. We tied. Everybody's happy.
It's like a soccer shootout.
I would rather lose than tie.
I was good with the tie.
No, there's not going to be a tie. I promise you that.
Failed to mention too, your boy Luke tied us as well. He got 7 in as well, so we're all tied. 3-way tie, which I'm happy with.
There will not be a tie when this tour is over. I'm going to lather up in the PR lotion. The only thing proven, or the most effective thing proven to buffer lactic acid. 2 great brands came together under one monster future brand. Head on over to amphuman.com/themove. 20% off at checkout. The discount code is TDF20. There's our flow code. Oh, these flow codes, they're so cool. Why would you just look at squares? The flow code is, Tim Armstrong and Ellie, the whole team over there, flow code, crushing. Last one here, Ventum. Today's show also brought to you by Ventum. This is my go-to whip. We went on a road the other day, finally on road bikes. I was on my NS1, George and Dia was out there, and Audrey, and I just, we talk about Ventum on the show, but I just looked at Dia and I said, man, this thing is a rocket ship. It really is. Direct to consumer, custom built at their shop right there in Utah. Bicycling Magazine said is one of the best bikes of 2021. And the new gravel bike, I'm getting a lot of questions about all the stuff around the segment and photos of the gravel bike. Their new gravel bike, the GS1, I mean, come on, no chain. Although they do send it with a chain. When I ride it, I feel like I don't have a chain. They're giving away a free custom NS1 frame set during the tour. Head on over to ventumracing.com and use the promo code THEMOVE at checkout for 10% off any purchase. By the way, do the math. Bikes are expensive. 10% is a lot of money.
Absolutely. Speaking of the segment, what's the latest? I heard we had a little bit of a shakeup yesterday.
Well, we've got a shakeup at the top of the leaderboard. And for the record, people ask me, even, can you see me? Like, oh, yeah. So these are the coordinates of Brevard.
That's been your camera the whole first 9 days, by the way. That hasn't changed.
Yeah. Well, anyways, these are the coordinates of the climb because it's hard to find. So we felt like, caveman style, we'd give people the actual coordinates. Big shakeup on the leaderboard yesterday. This is Beata took a break from DMing George and is continuing to lead the women's category. But our man Tyler Horschel. Now we've been watching this one. So Ben Wright had the best time. Oh. Tyler Horschel over the top, 16 seconds ahead.
You guys predicted he would wait till almost the deadline. Now it's going to add fuel to Ben.
So my buddy who actually sent me a really cool picture of him and his friend up the top, which they were supposed to do the selfie by the rock. They did their own Georgie at the top, which was super funny and unique. But Zach was just testing out. I think he did about a 20-minute time. He's going to go back. He was just warming up. So the battle is getting more and more interesting. And people going there and they're just trying it out to see the different lines they should be taking. And like we said, we encourage you to do it a lot more times than just once.
Yeah. Do we have the slide of the Georgie that those boys rigged up at the top of?
Yeah, there we go.
Now this is cute. Now The Georgie is supposed to be a picture of you and the the rock, which is the rock at the top, which is what George took the Georgie at. But these some bitches found Dwayne Johnson up there. They found the rock. I mean, I tell you, we've come onto something when the rock is hanging out at the top of Pilot Mountain. Now that is something.
That is something. And they're riding for Furman cycling team, which is a great collegiate team, one of the best in the country, and continues to invest in cycling right down the street from me. So I love seeing that.
Oh, do these guys have a shot?
They're strong riders. Absolutely. They definitely have a shot.
The Brevard Chamber of Commerce has got to be going crazy, thanking you guys for sending all these people.
A little bit of love.
Telling millions of people about this.
And that
town.
Tex-Mex place that we sent, we put in the race Bible.
Yeah.
And they brought out a margarita. It was literally the size of the Stanley Cup. And it was like neon. I said, I'm going to drink this.
Was it good? Being a Texan, margarita bar.
Listen, I was so demoralized for having to go so far to appease George's people and him and having to ride that damn climb and getting my ass kicked by George. I would have eaten lighter fluid or drank lighter fluid. I mean, honestly, I was so demoralized.
Interesting fact, since Lance and I both wearing CGMs, my blood glucose level shot up to 200 as soon as I started sipping on that margarita.
Did it really?
So probably not the best thing to have.
You know what that is? You know what that's due to? You're a small engine.
Yeah.
You're a small engine.
Well,
mine doesn't move with stuff like that.
You didn't say that when I was waiting for you at the top of the segment that I was a small engine. You mean that?
No, I said you're a finely tuned small engine. I am an out of shape, broken down, huge engine.
I like that. That could be another T-shirt, actually.
Yeah, everybody wants a T-shirt. If you saw the stuff we posted on the socials, which the regular show missed, but the members observed yesterday, we went into this whole thing about George playing tennis and needing people to play tennis with, and I can't even take it. I said, and I was throwing it out there, do you play on grass? And he's like, yeah, once. And wait a minute.
Oh, my word. That
okay,
is
so this
good.
Okay, hey, is Joe Natali again, I take it. The Hincapie Hamptons.
My arms aren't that hairy, by the way, but everything else is.
Don't worry, we have something to fix the hairy arms. We'll get into that.
Is this like a whole segue into something else, perhaps?
This is okay. All the houses, you got the Jizzy, you got the sports cars, you got the blingy watch, and so we were giving George some grief about. I was genuinely just curious. I was like, have you ever? Because he wanted to play on clay here in Aspen. I said, what about grass? Like Wimbledon's on, like that. I don't know what that's like. He's like, yeah, in the Hamptons. I was like,
I kind of teed you up for that one.
Oh my God. I mean, that was so easy. I could have
It was
gone
good.
on
You don't want
for
to
20
miss
minutes.
it. I'm not going to take it away from you. It was really good, really funny. I'm still laughing about it.
Oh boy.
We got to go back to the race real quick. Bringing it back down because we mentioned
that's what people come for.
We mentioned the incredible ride that Ben O'Connor did, but we also failed to mention that he got dropped on the last descent by over 30 seconds to Quintana and Higuita. I mean, for him, the mental wherewithal of this kid, 26-year-old kid, to be like, I'm 30 seconds behind. I've been in the breakaway most of the day. Hold his ground, keep his pace, catch back up to them. Not only catch back up to them, but then start dropping them and continue to fight for the yellow jersey. I mean, what an incredible ride by this kid. Imagine being dropped on the last descent after you've been working so hard against some of the best climbers in the world in front of you, giving them a 30-second gap at the bottom of the climb and coming back.
And if he can learn to descend.
Yeah, he even said that in his post-race interview. He said, I got to descend better than that.
Yeah.
But what an incredible ride.
Because he's overall just not a great descender or because of the wet roads?
You know what? You know how it is when you're that cold. It actually reminded me of a stage in 1998 when we went down the Galibier and then finished up the Deux Alpes when Pantani won. And he was battling Ulrich. Julik was third. I mean, that was one of the, if not the coldest day in my entire life on the bicycle. I was at the top of the Galibier. I was probably like in 70th position. And my only thought was if I don't get down this mountain as fast as humanly possible, I might die because I was that cold. I think I passed like 45 riders going down that hill because I just could not continue to ride down this mountain and ended up getting like top 30 on the stage just because I went so fast down that hill because I had no choice. Yeah, it was just the coldest I'd ever been on the bike. And that really reminded me of today's stage.
And sorry, JB, go ahead.
And shout out to Sonny Cabrelli, great sprinter and impressing the hell out of us climbing.
Yeah.
Have we ever seen a guy in contention for maybe Sagan, but I mean third place on the first true mountain day. Not only third place, but he's going full gas for these green jerseys points at the beginning of the stage. So he's going all out.
He better
It's
be.
interesting battles.
Speaking of descending, we saw the American Brandon McNulty go off the side of the road. But he was riding great. He was part of this UAE team that had the race in control, and it looked back. Just went around the corner, looked back to check on the team. And the old adage goes, if you don't look where you're going to go where you're looking. And that's exactly what happened. And he went straight off the side of the road. We hope he's okay. He didn't come back to that group. But kids, I'll say it again. If you don't look where you're going to go where you're looking.
Yeah, I mean, we hated seeing that. He's just recovering from a really hard crash in the time trial. And, I mean, he most likely would have been right there with Micah and Rio Costa at the bottom of Tigna and doing a great job. So hopefully he came back and hopefully he recovers tomorrow and becomes a big part of the team again. That's
a cool story. And with a kid who's as good as Pogacar, to have an American alongside him.
2 years in a row with him and Sepp Kuss on Jumbo. So we have some great climbers coming out of it.
Why don't you work on getting us some scoops?
I've been working. Whenever I look at my phone, I'm working on the scoops.
These guys probably worship. They probably have posters of you.
Doubtfully.
What else? There's not a lot to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah, much needed rest day. Maybe people are still healing from crashes.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting. I mean, you've been in this position, yellow jersey coming into the first rest day. Like, what would you do, Lance, coming into a super hard, wet, cold day, having to spend an hour and a half on the podium, press conferences? Like, what's your outlook right now being Pogacar?
For the rest day?
Yeah, for the rest day. For the evening, the rest day.
You know what I always do. I mean, I always want to go hard on the rest days. But I don't really know if that weather holds. Then that changes everything. You got to ride inside. You don't want to go out and ride and all that and get cold and wet again and
take unnecessary risks.
Were you mentally trying to check out? Like, I'm not even going to look at the stages after the rest day, or were you stressed out? Were you nervous? I mean,
what are you
talk about that.
What are you talking about checking out?
But it's interesting because me personally, like, rest day was coming. I'm like, I'm not even looking at the freaking rest book or the race Bible until the morning after the rest day, because I just want to mentally check out and not think about where I am. And, this is the differences between LA and I.
What kind of shit is this?
Lance is like, dang, I hate rest days. I can't wait to kill these guys tomorrow. Just can't wait.
Yeah, JV next, he's going to start asking me if I meditate. I mean, what is this? Wait, I'm going to make a gratitude list. I mean, what is wrong with you? This is the Tour de France.
I thought this was Lance 3.0, a little meditation.
I'm kidding you.
Meditation will help.
The meditation I haven't got onto. The gratitude list, 100%. That is a true story. But yeah, I can't. Man, just sitting there and like, no.
I think it got to be a lot harder. We've kind of talked about this for this generation to check out on a day with all the socials and media barrage. They don't get the reprieve.
And a lot of them have. As the tour is moving, you can't see your families. It's the rest day. A lot of guys get visits from their either their parents or their wife and kids, and so that they can use that day to just connect with their family. That part I love. But I tell you, it goes fast. I mean, that's why in my mind I was like, don't even get sucked into this. Like this is going to be over at the blink of an eye, and we're going to be straight back in the gutter. Like, no. Let's keep it hot.
Yeah, you got to keep it hot. I mean, you got
to keep it Mosca.
You got to keep it Mosca. The stage after the rest day, Pogacar already said he suffers the most on the flat stages. We all know, a lot of us, after a day off, just the first hour of the race could sometimes be the worst hour of the entire Tour de France because your body's kind of semi-shut down. So like you said, you got to keep it moving.
And not short, almost 191 kilometers, and not entirely flat, up and down. By the way, look at that bonus. The green jersey sprint at the top of that little schnock.
Yeah, so almost
Colbrelli's got to be.
Colbrelli's all in right now. They might even just race it like that's the finish of the stage, that 82 kilometer mark, which is going to make for some incredibly fast racing.
Yeah. All right.
Some emails.
Yeah,
real quick. I got some good ones. They're really pouring in. You guys are great. More Slovenians than ever, and more Germans writing lately.
I feel like we should check our rankings in Slovenia.
No kidding.
I can do that for you.
This is just fun. Mark writes, the Tour awards a white jersey to the best young rider. Should they also have a jersey for the best old rider? That's from Mark in Salt Lake.
So that would be Valverde, I believe. He doesn't need a best old rider jersey. That guy is still winning. He's still at the top of his game. I don't think so.
This is a fun one. This is more directed at our conversation yesterday, reliving the Lance out-sprinting Cloden moment.
Oh, my.
From a German. Lance, I hated you that day.
Oh.
You out-sprinted Clody just for the sake of it.
Yeah, you're right. I did.
Like I hated you every time you defeated Jan. Well, that's the sport. Not every time the guy you root for wins. But now I have to say, I have the deepest respect for you for reaching out to Jan, to lend him a helping hand when almost nobody here in Germany did, and all the media have gone after him and painted him as a drug addict kind of monster. That's true sportsmanship that you might not have shown enough of through the days. You're a good guy. Anyhow, great fan of the show. Watch and listen every day, and always good to hear your insights. Cheers from Jens. And he puts in parentheses, not the Voigt one.
Oh, God. Thank goodness. I knew it wasn't Jens Voigt. You didn't need to tell me that. But yeah. I said it the other day. I'm glad Jan is where he is. And by the way, and not only is he a good friend, and I also said this the other day, is Clody ended up being one of the coolest guys. Was a super mild-mannered, amazing teammate, worked hard, super loyal. So I was wrong. And I feel bad.
One of the best parties, post-race party wins that we had was in 2005 when Lance won his 7th Tour de France, and he invited Ulrich over to the party. Ulrich did a big speech on the stage. It was a super special moment.
But one of my highlights. Absolutely.
One more, and then we'll start. You guys can start celebrating 4th of July.
Right.
But here we go. Can you ask George and Lance if we're seeing the birth of a new cannibal and Pogacar, and are the days of the big teams dominating gone? Great show. Been listening since day one, way back when. Michael from Germany.
I thought that today watching Pogacar, how easy he was. I said, it's looking like he's gonna get number 2 this year, and who knows when that will end.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young kid, and a lot can happen. Life starts to move fast. He seems like he's awfully mature and humble, but I wouldn't. If all these other guys, we talked about it with guys wanting to develop into Grand Tour riders, like I don't know. We said this, but for the record, we said this 2 years ago with Bernal. We said all you other young guys out there that want to be, well, guess what? Here comes
part of the game is handling the fame.
Yeah,
which Pogacar seems to be handling,
and handling whoever comes next. I mean, we didn't 2 years ago when we said what we said about Bernal. We'd never even heard of this kid. So, but right now he looks unbeatable for quite some time.
I got a question too. So, and this is for JB2 show and for Lance. Today's situation, same exact situation. Lance, would you let the yellow jersey go, and would Johan want the yellow jersey gone? I'd like to know that. You can answer that now, and he can answer on his show later.
Okay. Well, my answer is it wouldn't have been up to me if Johan would have said, guys, sit up and give Ben O'Connor 9 minutes, and we still have the jersey by 46 seconds. Then that's what we would have done. There would have been a part of me inside them like, this are you kidding me? Ben O'Connor? I don't even know Ben O'Connor. That would have been like, and Ben O'Connor's a good rider. I'm not knocking him, but I would have been like, wait. We're going to let it go?
Well, you can't keep it at 9 minutes. 9 minutes is too close for people to, start attacking and chasing. Something's going to happen inevitably with 5 kilometers to go on the climb. Like you saw today, there's still a
the magic
race.
Number was 8 minutes, 14 seconds.
Yes, correct. But I'm saying if they're within 8 to 9 minutes, and it's when the attacks start going by the guys in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th place, they're going to,
so you think it should have been 12 minutes.
It should have been 12 minutes in that valley, but they were really going for it. So they had a clear intention, I think, to keep the yellow jersey.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to see.
I'm sure Johan will break that down and discuss more tactics and what UAE needs to do to defend.
Yeah, that's what he's good at. By the way, who was his pick for today?
He didn't. He just said a breakaway. He said this is a wild card breakaway day, which it kind of turned out to be. Right. It
did. Well, now for the betting show that we'll eventually get around to, he's going to have to get a little more specific. You can't make bets on wild card breakaway days.
And we're looking for a name for that show, right? So if anybody wants to shoot out some potential names, we'll check them out.
Yep, we had one lobbed already. I won't reveal it right now. You guys will be out there stealing our IP around that, but it's coming. It's coming. All right, enjoy the rest day. Enjoy the 4th of July if you're here in the United States. of America. We got it. We did get a correct pronunciation of Bahrain. We thought we were so smart yesterday. We were like, it's Bahrain. And then
not
somebody
even right.
from the Middle East sent us the pronunciation.
Our good friend. We won't say who it is, but I was way off.
We were all off. It's
I
like
wonder if I can play it.
Bahrain.
Yeah.
Like
That's how you say it.
we were all off. Anyways, enjoy the 4th, and we'll see you in 2 days.
Happy 4th.